We made it. Nigga, we made it. We made it at the zombie apocalypse so far. This is Texas. They removed the mask order, which is stupid because nobody was wearing masks anyway. Like, I don't know why they did that. Nobody was wearing masks.
I wore a mask.
I wore two sometimes, you know.
We're the safe ones. I was around people, I was like, bruh, like going into an establishment and they'll be like, oh, you gotta wear your mask at the door? Nigga, what were we doing? What is going on here?
Just like reducing possibility of getting. I'm not gonna lie, it is very America, like we said when we interviewed the young ladies from China. America never really learned how to quarantine. I don't think we know how. Like the best quarantine paled. Like when we talked to the girl from China, she was like, yo, you're indoors. Like they deliver food to your door, you open the door, you get it. Like you don't leave. America was like, hey, like if you go to the grocery store, hold your breath for like 30 seconds. Like that, that's pretty much how we did. And
and
we made it so far.
We made it. When we interviewed Tiffany Jackson, I don't remember her last name on that, but yeah, check that interview out. Yeah, and also he's talking about Stephanie, can't remember her last name right now, and that's my friend too.
Doing a great job.
Gonna hate me.
And that is exactly why I didn't even go for
I know her name is Stephanie Idara.
I didn't even go for the name.
Idara.
I didn't go for the name because I knew I was gonna mess them up. So
I knew he was gonna mess them up, but I know these people. But nigga, we made it. We made it.
Okay. So
right.
yes.
We are here.
We're here. We're here now.
We're here. And you know what's never changed? I'm still black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. Oh, snap. We're revealing too much. Black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. Welcome to another episode of In My Humble Opinion Podcast, where the opinions are humble and the words aren't jumbled. I'm your host, Avery, like a very nice guy, also known as Avery Zadius, on Instagram and on Twitter and all socials. Thank you for taking your time out for checking us out. In my humble opinion, we want to thank you for listening, watching, however you're taking us in. Thanks a lot. Also joined by our host, Jess Devon, ladies and gentlemen. He's my brother, Jess Devon.
Yeah, that's me. Just me, Jess Devon.
That's how
I feel like it's going to be a lot, but like that's the whole thing. I'm just Devon, so there's really not much else to it. So yeah,
he's a writer for the Houston Press, ladies and gentlemen. Not just that, many other publications as well. The best writer I know, it's the running gag that he says I don't know any other writers, but I mention other writers, and so
name them.
I've mentioned them before. I don't have to mention them today.
It's just valid.
Okay. So actually, so the person on our podcast today, they write music, so
okay. Touche.
And you can also find him at Jess Devon on Twitter and Dr. Douglas on IG. He's going to get it changed eventually, ladies and gentlemen.
As soon as Jess Devon comes off that IG handle, I'm back.
I mean, you underscore, there's numerous ways to
I don't like the underscore.
I don't like it either.
I could do I could do I am Jess Devon.
You can.
The real Jess Devon.
See? That's how you do things.
I don't like it.
And you could find us both at My Humble O on everything. And let's not forget about, you can look at us all the time. You can see my ugly mug on YouTube. I mean, that's how Mom watches us, which I love her to death. She probably doesn't. She's never.
Yeah, she definitely does not.
Yeah, I know. I was lying there.
I know she
my
does.
dad.
I'll tell you right now, like if she doesn't listen to the show at all.
No.
Avery smokes weed. Let's find out. Let's find out.
Okay, this is In My Humble Opinion Podcast. If you're not familiar with us, what we do is we try to shine a light on talent in the great state of Texas, more specifically H-Town, because H-Town's too sweet, H-Town's too sweet. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, whoever said that, your mom's a hoe. All right, the first time I ever heard that was from our guest that we have today. That shit made me laugh. I almost fell out my chair. They're funny as fuck, the wild as fuck, a rapper, singer, talk box master, producer, composer, and writer. Used to go by the name MC I Can Rhyme.
Oh, shit.
I hated that name. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, that was a terrible name. But they've changed their name. One of the goals that they have, which I have the same goal, just not the same color of gold. They want to one day own a gold El Camino. All right. If you could take him back, he can take you there. And also, for some reason, because I have a question about this, loves to name songs after colors. Everyone's the youngest Tio, Uncle Tino. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Tino.
Me.
What's good?
What
What's
is
good?
going on?
Man, I'm just cooling on my day off with two wonderful gentlemen that obviously know my ex-stage name, which
Yo, let's talk about.
That was
you said it in like 5 freestyles.
What's up?
You said it in like a few freestyles.
And
I know, yeah, so and yeah, but
let's talk about that name. Yeah,
all right.
MC I Can Rhyme.
We heard it. Yeah, that one.
But no, I just want to know when you came up with it, because it's like what age were you where you're like, yo, MC I Can Rhyme, this is it?
13.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Because all I'm stressing on this is you knew at 13, you're like, yo, I want to do this. You know, you took a stumble on it, and you're like, yo. But you definitely okay. So how does MC I Can Rhyme change over to Uncle Tino?
Great name.
Well, so like most of our Yahoo emails, I came up with something ridiculous at 13. Yeah. And it was for sure, again, like you said, it was something I wanted to stick with, and it was something that had sentiment to me. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. And I kept going for a really long time. And then it got to a point where I actually got a little pop on Vine, and then I was like, fuck, now I really can't change it because I have followers now that can find me. But then after a while, I was like, for marketing purposes, nobody can spell this fucking shit. Nobody wants to say it. It sounded like it was invented in 1982. Not going to do it. So Uncle Tino kind of just came from, I guess, more so like the uncle just kind of came from like my personality, like I care about a lot of people. I care about my friends. I'm always like checking on people and stuff like that. And I always kind of felt like I never really knew where, I guess, was classified or how I've kind of fit into like the rap hip hop scene, even though I am a rapper. I rap and I like doing hip hop music and stuff like that. But I kind of felt like an old head because I wasn't doing particularly what a bunch of these young cats were doing. I say these young cats were like I'm not one, but yeah. So then, see, so I mean, and but yeah, I mean, I've just always had like a little uncle in me, I guess. And what was crazy was like I did like a name reveal on Twitter, and then like one of my really good friends had a baby the next day. So I was like, oh, okay, uncle, here it goes. Like
It works. It works.
It really does. I really like how it fits too, and it's kind of just sticks better and looks better, is spelled better.
Yeah, because in case you don't know, people in the listening audience, MCI Can Rhyme was MCICKANRYME. How the fuck am I supposed to find that?
The K is silent. That was my
K is silent.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? It's something like well, we're gonna talk about the album that is about to come out. Yep. But I've listened to it, he has listened to it, and we talked about the maturity that is actually on the album. And we're gonna get to that later on. But I am gonna say this, like when you were like, yo, I'm doing something different than these, kids out here rhyming. Like, what music were you growing up listening to? What is it that you're exposed to? Because you have an it's not even an older sound, but there's just a maturity inside the music that's there.
I like the way you worded that. Yeah, maturity for sure. But very mature album, a very immature bedroom, right? But so like,
that's how I live my life.
Right. And then so I kind of grew up listening to a lot of stuff, you know, like I'm the youngest of three. So growing up, there was always something in the house. Like my parents were kind of just like, all right, let's just see what they pick up. And for sure, I was always gravitated, which I'm pretty sure y'all remember. It was like a tier like sound system. So it had like a record player on top. It had the mixer in the middle.
Yeah.
It had a spot for the cassette. It had a spot for the CDs, and below it had the little nook for like records and CDs and cassettes.
Yeah.
So I would always kind of like look around there. I would just look at stuff. I would like press knobs and buttons and the sliders and whatnot. And my dad had a guitar around, so I would kind of like fuck around. And sometimes I would hear it at night, and I would wake up and I would just like listen to him play, and then fall asleep. But I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of funk, a lot of like classic rock, of course, like Boston. I grew up listening to a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament. And then I spent a lot of time, because my parents had to work, we spent a lot of time at my grandma's house, which my aunt and my uncle also lived there, who when I was like maybe 3, they were my age now. So I would listen to a lot of different shit as well, like whatever they would listen to, which at the time, you know, in the 90s, like Limp Bizkit or Tool, Deftones, a lot of like Houston rap, of course, like Wu-Tang, like Diggable Planets, just all kinds of different stuff. And then, you know, of course, a lot of Tejano growing up, because my grandma really loved Tejano music. And yeah, it's just all kinds of shit. So
all kinds of
a lot of music, a lot, yeah, it's all there.
And I mean, you talk about the speak. I'm like, today's kids will not understand the amount of like physical space that we used for music. Like everybody now has like a device, you know, like the kids are like, oh, I got my little phone and it can text to a little speaker and it's loud and it's great. And I was like, Doug, this used to be like a whole wall. Like people would come in and like, yeah, man, look at my system. Like, don't touch it, but it's like the whole wall. Like, look at it. So I got cassettes, I got all that stuff out. So yeah, that's great. Like, so you have this like, you're listening to everything. I feel like you're listening to a lot of the same stuff that we listen to coming up. What starts to move you towards hip hop?
I honestly don't know. It's probably just written. Like I said, like my aunt and my uncle were there, like basically taking care of us a lot, and you know, babysitting, like the fun babysitting. So I mean, my uncle would we would like drive around and stuff, and I remember hearing like Missy Elliott and shit like that. And then I just remember one time we were like in a McDonald's drive-through, and then I kind of just said like, you know, like I want to be like Missy Elliott, like I want to do what all that is. And I never really completely pursued it. I was into a lot of different things, and I just subconsciously was like, fuck yeah, I want to do that. But I was also like really into like, I wanted to be like a breakdancer. I wanted to go to the Olympics, run track in the Olympics. I wanted to play basketball. Like I just did a lot of different shit. And then the only thing I feel like really stuck and something that I know I want to pursue as a career is to be an entertainer musically. Like I want to be a musical entertainer. I want to be in hip hop. I want to be a hip hop musician. And I just absolutely love words, and I love how words can come together. I love how you can explain one thing in a million different ways. And I love that I kind of have the ability to do that as well. So I don't know. And then it just, as I got older, when I was still coming up as MC I Can Rhyme, like in the beginning of high school, like in my musical puberty, I did a lot of poetry, and I did a couple of slams like in high school, and I won a slam. And then it was just kind of like really gratifying, but it feels good when you're just like speaking your truth with no music and being able to convey that emotion physically and verbally, and have people like, you know, like kind of just stake it out. And I'm like, damn, like imagine being able to do this, but like with music because I also love music. So I don't know. It's just something I really enjoy and something that kind of touches my heart in a different way.
And then as you're coming up, like at a certain point, and I feel like with music, and that's why I really like when we're talking to guests, there's no right or wrong way to do it. The only way that's right is the way that works. You know what I mean? Like if it works, it works. I'm not even talking about it works on a success level. It's like if you love it, then it's working. And so at what point are you like, yo, I can do this. Like this is something I can definitely do as a career.
I think maybe it was probably my first show ever that me and a friend of mine, his name's Stephen Huff, and we went to the same elementary school. He was actually in my sister's grade though. But I think it was like my senior year of high school, I recorded my first EP that I called the Pirate EP because I was really into pirates for whatever reason. I thought it was cool. And I was really into One Piece. Like I really like pirates and nautical nonsense. And I recorded like a little 4-piece EP that you can find on Bandcamp that, of course, were none of my songs. Only like one of them was an original from my friend JT. And then we recorded it and then I heard it and then I like released it. I didn't know how the fuck I was going to do it, but I did do it. And it just felt really good, like getting feedback. And then I had my first show I remember the date, it was August 1st, 2014 with my buddy Stephen Huff. And we were in a duo called The Perfect Crime. And crime was spelled stupid too, because we were trying to make it all clever. But yeah, so, but it was honestly, it was so cool. We booked the show through Afton, which found me on SoundCloud. And then I told Steven, I was like, yo, like, let's sign up. Fuck it. Why not? And then it was, of course, like a pay for play or sell tickets. And then you're able to like hop on stage for however long you think you can perform or how much content you have. So we were up there for maybe an hour with both of our songs. And we were just fucking goofing off, and we sold a shitload of tickets, and we honestly packed out Jet Lounge. It was our first show ever. And of course it was like all my friends and all his friends and family and my family as well. And then of course people just coming through for the show. And God damn, like it was just such a good, never felt more comfortable. Like I had so much like jittery, anxious bouncing going on. And then I was in the restroom and then I hear my buddy on the mic and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. So then I was like, all right, let me wash my hands real quick, hop on stage. And then we just let it rip. And man, it just felt so good being on that stage and seeing like a full crowd and hearing people laugh at the stupid things that I say and the stupid things he and I are doing. And it was, I think at that moment I was like, I want to play shows forever. I just want to entertain and do what I love.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was a really, really dope experience. And it's humbling too, because then it's like you're not booking as many shows afterward, or you're booking a few and then not as many people come through. And then it's like, where the fuck is everybody? But honestly, it's just, you ever read The Alchemist? It's something called an omen or like a good omen or like a beginner's luck, which kind of tells you like, yeah, if this is how it feels the first time, like you need to strive to keep pursuing that feeling and those experiences and whatnot.
They had this, I saw an interview with Dave Chappelle where he talks about, because it's like this running thing where everybody talks about, like comedians know Dave Chappelle like blew it out the water his first time up. Like he got up there and just killed it. And he was like, yo, I'm made to be a comedian. And then he's like, I bombed like so many shows after that. But he was like, he goes, I knew what it felt like though. Like he's like, I know what it feels like to get up there. Like, so he's like, the booze didn't matter after that. Cause I was like, dog, my first time, I know what that is. So I just got to get back there.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
So you trying to get back to that first show, like we're following along this path. Like, well, one, you said like your family and stuff was there too. Like, how is your, I mean, you've talked a little bit about your family, you know, just exposing you to music, but how have they been in terms of, hey, you want to pursue a music career? Like, what are their thoughts on everything?
They're honestly, I can't express how blessed that I am that I do have a family that wants to see me move forward with this, because I mean, they see how much I love it and whatnot. They just know, it costs money, and it's not a cheap hobby, let alone a cheap career. You know what I'm saying? So as long as they know, like, hey, like, take care of what you got to take care of to really get yourself there, and we'll help you along the way. Like, we'll support you if you need help with anything. Like I said, I'm honestly, like, I can't express how grateful I am to have a family that really wants to see me make something out of myself for this. And I will, but I'm also the type of person where it's like, I don't like asking for a lot of stuff all the time. Like, if I'm kind of independent that way. I've always really been very independent, being the youngest child. And I honestly learned a lot of stuff on my own. But I mean, to say the least, honestly, like, I have a great support system, and I see how they support me. And honestly, I know there's people that don't have that support system. And here's where the uncle comes through. Like, I try to express as much as I can to let people know that, hey, you have a support system within your peers. It takes a village. And I believe that to the maximum. So one, like, I'm grateful that I have what I have and stuff like that, but I'm also honored that I can inspire and help people along the way. And even if they just need maybe like someone to listen to them or whatever, give a little bit of advice or, some words of encouragement. Like I said, I live to do that, honestly. Like, it really makes me feel good inside, and it makes me feel good to know that there's people to know, or that there's people out there that need to know that they need that push, and that I'm there to give them that push. And it sounds probably a little bit narcissistic, but honestly, I just, I know what I have, and I know what I'm capable of giving, and this whole music thing and stuff like that, honestly, it's just my gift to share other people. So I don't know, and it comes from one, and then the rest takes a village. So I gotta say about that.
And I mean, when we talk about village, like I said, like we connected. I already knew about you, but I was just like, it takes time to like reach out. But we've talked to Lily Aviana, we've talked to Dende, we've talked to Amy. Amy was the one that directed me to the tweet, and I was like, yeah, absolutely.
He's a fucking goat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He absolutely
we've gotten so many guests from Amy just alone. No,
she's the best.
And you talk about that village aspect, because they're at least with especially like of you and Dende and Lily and a number of others, the musical interaction that you guys have and the genuine friendship you guys see, because y'all really cut for each other. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to see y'all have to fight somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all really cut for each other. So how does that type of, or how did y'all's musical connection come together?
It was one of Amy's shows. it was the bounce attack. So it was and I remember that day too. It was March 2nd, and that was right around the time where I thought I was going to drop Colorfool, before I realized how much work really needed to get put into it. I was playing a show, and I performed, or I don't know who performed first. It was either me or Dende, but and Lily was there too, who had just left the show. And then we were just watching and this and that. We're just kind of like, okay, like grooving. And then I think he had a guitar that show, because he would perform with the guitar like a couple songs. And then eventually he had Halston, who's a killer guitarist, perform with them. But I think he had a guitar. And then we both look at each other like, we need to get his number, because he's fucking fantastic. Like, we were like stunned. It was awesome. And then I performed after, and yeah, I mean, it was one of Amy's shows. That's kind of how like all that happened. I met Lily at Barron, and it was one of the songs, Green, which I had written forever, and I needed a singer. And I actually was going to ask one of my old friends to sing on it, who had like kind of like that a similar like sultry voice, like that just that butter going on. And then eventually, you know, I was in school when all that happened, so it was hard for me to really like get to the studio and whatever. And then eventually, I think she just like stopped replying because she was in like a little bit older than me, so she had her own stuff going on. And then so I recorded that song initially with just my vocals on there for reference, for sure, because I was like, man, I guess I'm just gonna have to sing this part myself, not like I really want to. And not that I don't think that I'm a good singer, I just really had my heart set on something else. And then what happened? Oh yeah, so then I recorded, and then Lily comes in to kick me out of my session because it was already past time. and then I just like immediately like it clicked, you know. I was like, wait a minute, like homegirl up front can sing. So I was like, hey kiddo, would you like to sing on a song with me? And then she was like, yeah, just send me the song and we'll see what's up. And then so I was like, okay, cool. And then eventually, you know, swipe card, I leave, send her the song, and then I kind of tell her what I wanted to sing, and then boom, it happened that way.
That's dope.
So, yeah, and she fucking murdered it. It was amazing.
Yes,
it was a fun ass session.
She really did. And you were talking about that's Green off of Colorfool. And look, I'm gonna reveal, like, I'm smart, but I have like really stupid moments. And it wasn't until like maybe an hour ago that I said Colorfool out loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, colorful, but it's Colorfool. And yeah, that was dumb. What?
You're not stupid. I just realized that when he said it.
Oh,
I was like,
so.
Oh, colorful. I was like, oh, that's clever.
So
over your head. I like it.
Colorfool is the album, and you were talking about working on that back when you first met Dende, back at one of Amy's old shows, and then you've been working on this album for a while. We have heard it. It is great. Tell us about that process and what delayed the album.
So I started working on that song. You guys are gonna blow. 2016.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and it started with Blue. And so I remember being bored as fuck. Well, you know what's really crazy? I'm gonna talk about my shitty short-term memory later. But anyway, so Exhibit A. But anyway, so I was in a real shitty, boring anthropology class that was taught by a TA by the slide. And I remember being just like, bro, you know what? I haven't made any music in a while. Like, let me figure out what I can do. And then I hit up one of a mutual friend who is now one of my best friends and head producer of this whole album. Like I looked through like his BeatStars or something, and then I was like, damn, this is so smooth. Like it was like this one sampled beat. It's a song called Respect. And so I heard that, and then so I think I just like texted him or I DM'd him, and I was like, hey bro, like I need this beat. This shit is fire. And he was like, okay, cool. I'm at a new studio now. If you just want to come by. And I was like, fuck yeah, I got like 3 USBs. I'll come pick it up and snag it. And so I went over to his studio, and then we were just like talking and catching up. And then he's like, yeah, I'm doing this compilation album, and just pick any beat and go for it. And so I was like, all right, bet. And then so I like heard some songs, and I heard this song called Blue, and then it heard like those curves like that bump, bump, bump. And I was like, what is this? This sounds like some fucking like Hall & Oates shit. And then he was like, just wait. And so he's like playing the song and playing the song and playing the song. And then I was like, bro, there's just like a twist and a turn like everywhere. And I was like, I need this song. And he was like, do it. And then we started recording it, and I probably definitely recorded it like over 200 times, because I am a singer, but like I said, I'm not like too disciplined to where I'm like used to singing on the mic. So I sang it a lot. And after that, you know, once we had like a really good product, he sent me another song or another instrumental, and it was titled Green. And then I heard it and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna make this all about money, because I don't smoke. So I'm just like, okay, cool, money. And then Yeah, I mean, how fraud would that be? But anyway, so well, I don't got a lot of money either, but fuck it, you know what I'm saying?
She love you.
She's coming, money's coming. But anyway, so I hear her, she's around the corner. But anyway, so I just immediately started writing to that song, and I was just like, fuck, like all of this, it just flowed. It flown. So it just came out organically, and I was like, dog. I think I went to the studio and I told him, and I like rapped it to him, and he was like, yeah. And then I was like, I think we should just fucking do the like colors. Like, why not? Like, why can't we just? I mean, you got one color, you got two color. Why not a few more? Yeah. So originally it was only going to be like red, orange, yellow, blue, green, and purple, which are 6 colors of the LGBT flag. So I was like, fuck it, I'm queer. Let's go for it.
That work, and I mean, going into that too, where it's your music is very just open. It's deep. You talk about a lot of your emotions and things like that. Mm-hmm. You openly talk about the changes that occur with you inside mm-hmm. of your own life. So talk about that and how it affects the music or it's reflected in the music.
There you go.
Well, for a really good long while, it was kind of, or I got stuck in this block of, again, like I said, like, I don't know where I fit in this genre. So, and also let alone a genre that can be a little bit openly homophobic and transphobic, yeah. which can kind of really, kind of it can really keep you in a shell. So I, again, utilized, something that I've done in the past. I utilize, I guess, more like, of a poetic method to things, and I compare stuff, and probably, people can understand that's what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, like in a way that is still kind of relatable to everywhere, like interchangeable and subjective. So I mean, and people can listen to one thing and feel another, and people can listen to the same thing and feel a totally different way. And I would say, I was open with my sexuality for a really good long time. And that was like, okay, now I can be a little bit more free and be cool with whatever's going on with me. But then, I started experiencing, I had another little existential crisis when I was releasing my first album under MC I Can Rhyme, and was like, all right, like now I'm saying things about myself that are a little bit not myself. Like I'm kind of referring to myself as she, and it doesn't really fit my feet anymore. It's like I grew out of that shoe. And then so I was like, all right, this next album, like I want it to be about, how does this color make you feel? Like, what do people normally allude this color to and stuff like that? And blue is just kind of like, it just kind of set everything off. And I think I was like getting over somebody or whatever. And I just kind of wrote like some old feelings and some fake feelings, some new feelings. I just never had a real little cute love song, so I just decided to whip one out. But I would say how it like reflects or how it like affects my music. I mean, it's affected me to where I guess now I'm just not that scared to do it. And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck with what anybody has to say about my gender identity or my sexuality or whatever, or what people think of me. And it's just doesn't really faze me anymore. And now I feel I have the space and the encouragement to move forward, and also move forward to kind of not become a blueprint, but honestly, I don't know too many artists that are doing what I'm doing and also be the type of person that I am in the mainstream, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people, but I mean, do you really know people? Like, can you just like people know people, but if you can be like that person that people really can just identify like off the rip, like that's kind of the goal,
And yeah, that's another thing, because it's like, you're right, there aren't a lot of people in your position like coming out as saying, hey, I'm a trans man and I'm in hip hop. And you're right, hip hop is not always the friendliest when it comes to that. Do you feel like the times have been changing to make it like from your perspective? Because have things been changing where it's like, okay, this is easier, or has it also been more of a I really just I don't care no more. Like what y'all say, like I'm gonna do this and y'all just gonna deal with it. Like, like what is it? Is it one? Is it the other? Or is it a combination of both?
A little combination of both, honestly. I would say in music, it's I always and have always walked into a venue with my keyboard and my talk and like a fat ass backpack with shit in there, my talk box, and have gotten looks of, Mom, is that a boy or a girl? You know, like you're like, what the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? What the fuck are they gonna do? You know, it's pretty judgmental too.
Yeah.
And I, without fail, you know, I surprise people every time. And I would say with the way society is moving right now, you know, everybody is trying to like be more inclusive and I'm not going to say tolerable. I don't like that word, but more open-minded to transgender folks. And there's people that are still like, I don't get it. Like, and then there's people that are still like, I don't get it and I don't like it. And I don't give a fuck about that. But society is moving. I feel like where I also place myself, it's moving progressively. And even when I came out, you know, all my friends were just kind of like, you know, we're really proud of you. We want you to take care of yourself and like, thank you for telling us, you know, but you didn't have to, you know. But and then musically, I feel, you know, opposed to the strangers, you know, the people that I move with are again, you know, just people who love doing what the fuck they love doing. And I do sometimes, you know, get a little bit of a knot in my stomach if I do approach like a rap show or maybe a rapper and then think like, oh, are they freaked out? Like what are they thinking? You know, I've had things yelled at me before and they're not nice. And they kind of, they, you know, and in the moment, you know, like it hurts your feelings. And I'm not going to say it doesn't hurt, but at the same time, like now I'm not so shocked that this is what I'm going to be facing as a trans man. And especially a trans man in a very masculine genre where the masculinity is excruciatingly fragile.
Yeah.
And, and my masculinity, you know, even growing up female, and it's just kind of not because I was never a feminine kid, but I was socialized as a female. So I was always kind of feminine, like goofily. Like I just don't care if anyone thinks I'm too feminine or not feminine enough or not masculine enough or whatever. I mean, I kind of just define myself as me. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do or what I hope to accomplish. You know, I mean, that's not my entire goal of performing music. I do it because I love it. But I, when it comes to something like this, I just don't really care about the outside opinions and stuff like that. What does hurt is that if it's somebody I care about making some weird judgment that I'm like, okay, well, whoa, like, you know, that's a little bit off. But that's beside the point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I guess that's what I like to say about that.
I mean, the other thing too is like you were saying, like you come in with your talk box and everything, and I mean now you're like we were talking earlier. You said you were taking testosterone and things like that, and things are changing. But you know, like you see people like, who is that? What is that? Is that a boy? Is that a girl? And then you play your music. I guess what is the feeling to win over a group of people like that? Like, are you happy? Are you? I'm just speaking from my perspective. It's like a bittersweet thing where it's like you're still an asshole, but you like my shit. Like, you know what I mean? So, what is that like to win over a group of people that were just literally a minute ago, like judging?
You know, I kind of always like whenever that happens, I'm just kind of like I fucking told you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it does feed my ego, but it's just like, I mean, you really can't be out here judging people like that. You never know what's out there. You never know what somebody has inside of them. You know, I could have bolted this full fucking song like with this giant singing voice, and people have been like, "What the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? But it's like you really can't judge people. I mean, that feeling, you know, it's I kind of just absolve all the judgment, I guess, that they once, because I mean, you can tell, you know, when that happens, and I'm guilty of feeling this too. I've judged people as well, and then you see what they can do, and you're just like, fuck, you know, I was stupid and I was wrong.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of don't even think about too much, like, you know, like I'm gonna hold a grudge because you didn't think I was good, you know, like it's just kind of like, yeah, like this is me and this is what I do, and hope you enjoyed yourself. Like I'd really try my best not to let it like blow me up, but at the same time it's like, I mean, yeah, like I told you, you know, like I know my worth and I know my value, I guess. So
no, that's good. That's good. And yeah, we all do judge, especially musically judging people.
Yeah.
I did it to Cardi B. I definitely said we will never.
He's
I tell people all the time. I was like, God, anybody, if they work, can work. Because I said I saw Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop, and I saw her perform, and I was like, we will never see that girl again. And then I saw her like a year later with Bodak Yellow, and I was like, oh, she's good. Like, you know, and then she just kept going. Hard. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. Here's one thing I will push back on, though. You say you're not into the singing aspect. You keep downplaying the singing.
I don't know why you did that.
This album is very, for production quality, it is big. It is a lot of singing. It is a lot of talk box. It's a lot of rapping, but it's very, I'm not even going to say it's big and it's full. Like it has a very, very full sound. You like to, I don't know what my question is. Like, what do you mean you don't like to sing? Like, what are you talking
I'm not
about?
saying, no, I love singing. I'm just, what I'm saying is that, like, you know, I could have been like this giant, like, operatic singer. In that analogy was saying, you know, you wouldn't really know. But I fucking love singing. I knew that I was able to sing when I was really small. But I was also kind of shy. Like, I didn't know. I didn't really start to sing publicly until high school. And I would sing with one of my really good friends, Juan. What's up? And we would play guitar, or he would play guitar, or a uke, which was my uke, and it was his guitar, and we would just like kind of sing songs together and whatnot. And I kind of just got into singing a little bit more and being less shy about it, especially when Vine popped, and then I popped on Vine, and I was like, I guess I can do everything on camera now, and then people will like it. So I started doing that a little bit, and just wanted to keep doing it. You know, I like singing. I enjoy singing. And I think I probably just downplayed a little bit because I know I don't practice a lot, but I like singing. Singing's dope.
You're so good at it, though.
I sing in the shower. I'd like it.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Did you just abbreviate ukulele with uke?
Uke, yeah. Isn't that what everyone said?
That's awesome.
Not everybody did that.
I thought that was the term.
I've never heard
it. He's on his uke.
Yeah, I was playing on the uke and singing in the shower.
So tell us then now, I mean, since we're at the full album, I mean, tell us about Colorfool. Like, what do you want fans to kind of walk away from after listening to this? And when is it officially coming out? Like, officially, because people asked and you said it and then it got pushed. So officially, when's it coming?
March 30th. That's the day. And then I'm dropping a single a week before that.
Right.
Go. What's the single?
Orange.
Okay.
Orange, yeah.
Okay. And then like what is the what do you want fans to walk away from after listening to this album? Yeah, I got stuck on my V.
Today. I really want people, I just want people to just feel incredible. Like, I want people to just listen to this and just be like, holy shit, that was nothing like I've ever heard before. And I really just hope that people can kind of, relate to it in a special way that, like I said, that it suits them. I hope it like helps, and I hope people listen to it and feel happy and feel sad. I want people to be able to like dance to it. I want people to cry to it and stuff. I mean, we all had those artists that really like helped us through those times. And, I specifically remember artists that helped me when I was younger and going through things in my head that I didn't understand. And, seeing myself grow up to be something that I didn't want to look like. And I just don't want people to feel by themselves. And I want people to know that they can really push down walls and be creative and not be afraid to express themselves musically or however the fuck they want to express themselves. They don't even have to be musicians or songwriters or poets or instrumentalists. You don't have to be anything. I just want people to like really listen to this album and just know that that feeling in their heart is valid, and that the feeling that this music gives them is okay. And it's okay to feel things out. It's okay to create something different, and it's okay to feel and be different. And just I hope that it helps them be them and love themselves. So
now the other thing too is, are you shooting any videos? I mean, I know when we talk to independent artists, because you're putting this all out yourself, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So I went through the distributor and stuff like that. It's all uploaded and stuff.
Okay.
I do have a video in progress, but videographer, his name's Chris. We call him Christoph. But anyway, also goes by Superb Visions on Instagram. Great guy. He lives up in Detroit, but he's going to come back in April, which is kind of why I wanted to drop the single, to kind of be like, okay, because it's there's a skit in that song that you really don't understand unless you watch the video.
Okay.
So yeah, but plans had changed because we were all going to shoot it in one night, but it was raining and we had an outdoor shot, so we couldn't finish it. So I was like, all right, well, I'll drop the single. It's all good. But yeah, and then I also have another video right now. We're writing a treatment for it. I don't remember which song. I think it's Yellow, because I have the most ideas for Yellow, but also Green is the easiest one we could do. But honestly, we were just trying to. It's based off my other videographer.
Am I basic because I was just thinking Green? Like, I was like, oh well, Green, of course.
It's a bop. I mean,
now I feel basic because you're like, dude. Oh well, yeah, Green is of course.
I love that one. It's such a good song. So
it really is.
No, you're not basic. It's a very good song. It's a very videoable song. I honestly have had a visual for that one in mind, and I've been solid on how I want it to look for a minute. So but yeah, we don't know when we're able to do that one, but I have the most ideas for Yellow because I think that one, I don't know. I think that one requires like so much work that I want to do that one first. So, and just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would like really want to like let's go. I'd rather spend time on it than just kind of like rush through one thing and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Is Yellow like your favorite song on the album?
Yes, it actually is. It's my favorite.
Okay, so what is it about Yellow that just makes it stand out from all the other colors?
One, it's got that switch up. I love that a lot. But well, I produced it, like I made that one, and I was very proud because when I produced Purple, I had every sound loaded up, just one big giant thick ass train of sounds, and we had to eventually chop things up appropriately. And with Yellow, I think I kind of had gotten the structure of building a song and composing a song better. And then I love the lyrics, and I love the cadences, and I love the influence, like I was definitely going for like a Rhinestone Eyes, like Gorillaz type feel, which was one of my favorite artists. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like that one was the truest to me because Yellow is my favorite color. aside from it being a color on the album. Like I love the color yellow. It's happy. I like to consider myself a happy person. And yeah, and I love it because, you know, it kind of has like this bright, vibrant feel to it, but also like this anxious, you know, nonstop feel to it, you know, like ADHD in me. So like this kind of scatterbrain sort of nuance to it that really makes it me. And that's something that I told myself how I wanted this song to be. It was like, you know, this, I wrote it down in my notes. I was like, this is you, all caps, you. Like, what can make this you? And so I didn't know how I wanted to do it. I didn't know if I was going to collaborate with anybody. And then I think I remember just listening to Sugar Sugar by Baby Bash, and I was just like, bruh. And I was like, I want to create a song like this, which Yellow is absolutely nothing like that. But I threw it in the little meows, and I was like, fuck. And then I kind of brought it back, and I don't know, I just really like the little climbs of the synths in there, and the vocal pattern in the chorus. And I love the switch up to gold, which is just kind of, you know, me in a more sensitive light, as gold is like a real sensitive metal. You know, it's like a really soft metal, which is, you know, soft metal. So soft metal. So bright shirt, all black, everything, you know, like it's I really love that part, and I loved just how everything came together, like the vocal production, like it was just everything that I wanted it to sound like.
No, that's dope, because Yellow really it kind of exemplifies the layering of that style of layering on the album. Like every song just sounds like it's built. Like it's like, here's this, and then here comes this, and this is on top, and this is on top, and then it's a lot, but in a good way. Like it doesn't sound like a mess of stuff. It really sounds like a lot of really well placed stuff. Like I don't know how to say this and not be offensive, like a really well organized hoarder. Like this is like so much stuff, but it all fits. And so like, yeah, it's good. It's great. You did a great job on it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't know. I just I was like, that sounds cool. Let's do that.
Now you've given shout out to like other people, and you've shouted out other people's Instagrams and stuff like that. But I mean, you got to let us know, like, well, one, beyond just like this album and what you're doing, what are the other plans, like future plans that you got going, and then like where people can find you?
You can find me musically. You can find me anywhere. Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer. I think Tidal. I have to check the little spaces of where you can find me on DistroKid. Twitter is at really REALLY Uncle Tino. There's nothing hard about spelling Uncle Tino. Instagram is the same thing, really, Uncle Tino. And as far as like the future, I'm definitely gonna go back to my roots, and I definitely I'm planning to release like a boom bap EP with Bill Fires, who is he can chop up and sample a lot of shit. Like we're definitely gonna go back to that kind of like Griselda type stuff, except if Griselda was, you know, for children. the Barney of Griselda, whatever.
Yeah. And Griselda's for the kids. That's what it is.
It's like Griselda's on one side of New York, and then I'm on Sesame Street, you know. And definitely want to do that. Gonna have some videos for that as well. More videos, honestly. I'm gonna be milking this album the most that I can. I spent 5 years on it, and I will keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like I will fucking just push content, and I will perform and do what the hell I gotta do to really push for where I want to be in my career. And I just hope that everybody enjoys what I do, you know, like, because I know I'm gonna get there. It's just a matter of work and time and divine time. Let it all fold out.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Look, we really appreciate having you on. Like I said, I'm very happy, and I got to give a shout out to Amy for connecting us because we were already familiar with you. I honestly was just waiting for the album to drop, so I'm really glad Amy connected us because I got to hear the album before it came out. So that was great. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's always good to hear to just hear work from you, man. This is great. This is great.
I'm excited. I'm really stoked for everyone to hear it, and I appreciate that y'all were so like, come on, like let's go, because that's where I'm at right now. Is like I'm just nonstop, like let's go. Like I've just been honestly like DMing people, like saying like, hey, like let's talk, like let's fucking talk about this, because I'm just excited about what I've done, what me and Andrew have done. I didn't even get to talk about Andrew. He's a genius. Like he is honestly like one of my biggest musical inspirations right now, and again, one of my bestest friends. Like if it wasn't for him, this shit wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have occurred at all. So I have nothing but just love and gratitude and appreciation for that guy, man. Like he is everything to this album. I'm just a guy that made it happen. So, you know, like, but I'm also, you know, I did some stuff too, you know? Do what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? But so I mean, I appreciate Andrew so much, and he works so hard, and he does other things too, and he can play anything he can put an ear on and his hands on. So and Amy, honestly, the GOAT, just one of the best people that I've ever met, one of my dearest friends right now. And y'all, thank y'all for having me on here so much. Like I can't thank y'all enough for just hearing what other people have to say about this, because I've been listening to it over for 5 fucking years. So it's like, it's like, so I'm just like, what are people gonna think of this? And it's just awesome. I love all of it.
I mean, look, that's the other thing too. When you have an album that you've been working on for 5 years, like when you're like, yo, Green was, I had that for a while and I had this. Is there ever a point where you're just like, nah, I'm tired of that. I'm good. like what do you ever get tired of the own song before we get to hear it?
Sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I should probably listen to something else so that I can, you know, expand, I guess, my what's that word? Because my almanac of music and stuff. Let me stop listening to myself for a little bit. Let me, you know, and let me study and whatnot. But sometimes I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna listen to this part or whatever, you know, and rewind. But I mean, I'm not gonna say it gets old, but I'm gonna say, you know, I think I want to listen to other things.
Well, you know what? That's always good that the album in 5 years is still drawing you to it. Yeah, it's a really good album. So I'm not gonna keep saying it's a good album because people are gonna be like, "Oh, you just love that." Like, yeah, it's a good album.
No, it's good.
It's a good album. So that's the other thing too. Like, if it's still working after 5 years, that's good. Like, good music is supposed to last.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm like I said, I'm just so glad that I'm getting the reactions that I'm getting out of it so far, you know?
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. That was awesome, man. Like, really, I mean, from coming all the way from MC I Can Rhyme to Uncle Tino, it took you 5 years to get this album to where you want it to be. And we're just proud of you. Like,
thank you, man.
Thing. That's really awesome.
I mean, it means everything to me, honestly. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it brings me so much joy. Oops, work chat going off. It just brings me so much joy to bring people joy and to see how people enjoy things. So I don't know. It's my purpose in life.
There you go. And it's your purpose. And my purpose is to make sure that everybody sits here. You see what I did there? That sits there and listens to In My Humble Opinion podcast. This has been me, Avery Zadius, and I've been with my brother, Dr. Douglas, also known as Just Devon, ladies and gentlemen, Just Devon.
That's me.
Just a wave right there. We've been In My Humble Opinion podcast, and we're going out with Uncle Tino. There we go. We are everywhere. Who has Colorfool coming out that will be in your phone March 30th. I like the spelling of Colorfool. I like it all. In My Humble Opinion podcast, where the opinions are humbled and the words aren't jumbled. If you want to be a part of the Humble Hive, you've got to like, share, and subscribe. H-Town's too sweet. See you guys later.
Peace.